Hey there, I'm Johan, and I play the keys and the bass.
Hey, I'm Max. I would be the percussionist of the group.
I'm Chad. I sing and play guitar.
Yeah, my name is Ricard. I play guitars. And we're Carolina Liar.
That's right.
And you're watching Fender Vision.
The band name Carolina Liar really came from this producer that I was working with in Santa Monica. He never believed any of these stories that I had from this neighborhood that I grew up in South Carolina. Would tell him about these people literally shooting at each other with rock salt and stuff like that. Literally in a trailer like what we're in right now. And these two guys would be hanging out in a spot like this, shooting at each other with shotguns. And my mom would update me on these stories, and I would tell this guy what was happening in the neighborhood where I grew up, and he never, ever once believed any of it was true. And he always called me the biggest liar he ever met. And one day when kind of starting this up, he came in because I was working for him. He's like, "Where are you from again, man? You need to come up with a real band name." And it was just, he's like, "You're from South Carolina?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, there's your name, man. Call yourself South Carolina Liar." And then both of us at about the same time were like, "Yeah, Carolina Liar, that might be available." We Google searched it, and there was no pornographic images of anything like that. So we were like, "It's perfect. Let's go."
There is now. I think a funny thing with the name is like now we all turned into storytellers.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what our dear friends think of us when we tell them what we do. They're like, "I don't believe you."
The first plane trip I ever took was to move to LA, but I had always planned to go to California. That was another one of my problems. When I was a kid, I had two imaginary best friends, and both of their parents died. I don't think I've ever told you guys this story, but their parents had passed. Their parents had passed away. My imaginary friends, but both of those guys were from California.
Oh shit. Oh.
Whoever my imaginary friends were. And the funny thing was, I was like 2 or 3 years old. I had no idea what California was. But these imaginary friends I had told me that I needed to go to California. Wow. So I was always a plan to go to LA and somewhere deep in the back of my head. My sister, she gave me a credit card. I didn't have really the money to do it. But she gave me a credit card and put it in in my name.
She either believed in you or wanted to get rid of you.
One of the two. It's yet to be determined. But
just take this card, just
go, run. So when I was living in LA, or through a transitional period, I was basically going to be homeless or going to move back to South Carolina. And there was a Swedish songwriter there that I'd met living in Los Angeles, and he had a space at his house, and he knew the situation I was in. And he's like, "Just come over, move into my place, pay me what you can, and we'll just go from there." And that's how I started meeting all the guys. His best friend was Max Martin, which is a high school friend of his, so I started meeting all these other writers and producers that were Swedish. And basically one thing led to another. We wrote the song Coming to Terms as a scratch demo in the backyard of this house. And Max called, because Alex had sent Max the song in Sweden. He's like, "Man, if you can write 2 more songs like that, maybe there's something I can do to help you, find a publishing deal or something like that." And out of it, we wrote Show Me What I'm Looking For and I'm Not Over, literally in the same week. And at that point, Max called and was like, "Well, only way we can do this is you got to come to Stockholm." And from that, he's like, "Just get over here and then we'll start working on this thing and see what we come up with." Just as a friend, he was just like, "Let's see what happens." And we started working and just kind of compiling everybody together.
That's a pretty funny story. I had like pretty much the same thing, but in Sweden. I wanted to go to LA, and because I had these like imaginary friends, her parents. No. That would be great.
I want to know what happened with your friends, man.
Those guys eventually disappeared.
Still around?
Nah, I never saw those dudes anymore, but they were around for a while.
Cool.
No, anywho's.
No, Chad.
Any shoes.
Chad tempted me with good food and
Touring.
candy.
Lots of candy, just bags of candy.
You wanna come tour the States? I got some candy.
Remember I always bring those massive bags of candy to those rehearsals? Yeah, why did you join this thing, Johan? What happened? How did we lead you into this fold?
You told me I had to.
That's true. I didn't give really a choice.
Yeah. Actually, the thing was, you said like, Well, not you, but Tobias.
Yeah.
Like, so, Johan, you wanna change your lifestyle a little bit and move to Los Angeles and go on an American tour? And that's, sure, why not?
So we got to work with Max Martin and Peter Svensson
From the Cardigans.
from the Cardigans on this record. A lot of other cool guys too, but Max and Peter have this wicked collection of guitars. They have all these classic old Fender like Jazzmaster, some 59s, every kind of Telecaster you can come up with. All these
Peter's
great.
got the whole.
You got
every year.
And all these great amps, and we got to use so many just cool things. Like on the song California Bound, we found this old Fender Super 6 amp, and we managed to just get this like pure California sound.
We're all waiting for a reissue of that, by the way.
We'd love to get a reissue of that thing, but it sounds like, you know, a Jazzmaster coming through that amplifier was so much fun, and that was a cool thing. It was working with both of those guys. They had such an idea as far as kind of vintage sounds that we were looking for. I mean, still using a lot of modern stuff too, but most of the guitars and things that we were using just sonically where those guys, where their references were I mean, it really kind of gave us this character that's kind of not on a lot of records, because it gave us something that sounded really expensive that we could do.
Like, I'm Not Over, it's got 15 amps or something.
Yeah, it's got 15 amps at least.
Could be a problem on tour.
Yeah, it's a hard sound to reproduce, that thing, man. Yeah, Show Me What I'm Looking For, Going Gold. It was a certified gold single. We find out a lot of times that the Show Me's on a television show, and
Every other week.
pretty much it's there. I saw somebody posted something, they're like, my God, another CW show using Show Me What I'm Looking For. For us, it's great, but I mean, that's helped so much, and we would never get the airplay we get on radio without what happened for these television shows. And I mean, it really kind of cuts down to the funny thing. Max and I were in Seattle one time doing a promotional tour, and we saw the first clip of Show Me being used in the Hills. And the song was really, it was intended to be a little bit darker, at least from where we wrote it. The perspective of it wasn't necessarily a love song, you know. It was kind of coming from a real questioning place. And all of a sudden, there's Lauren in Paris, this super rich, entitled kid, you know, falling in love in Paris with Show Me What I'm Looking For on a moped. It was so cool, because then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is great, because it starts, you realize, like, this thing can mean anything to anybody. You can't allow it to be, this is the strict interpretation.
I guess 90210.
Good answer.
I can relate to the old 90210. The new one, not so much, but still, it was weird to tell the friends back in Sweden, like, we're gonna be on 90210. They're like, what's that? I'm like, you know Beverly Hills? Like, da-no-no-no.
Be on a
You're
TV
on
show
TV.
in America. Like, try to tell your parents, Mom, I'm actually on TV right now.
Yeah, they never get it.
Playing with my band. It's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's pretty cool. Somebody had told me, like, yeah, we just saw you on the TO show. I was like, the 2 show? Like, what is that? Because I mean, we haven't
Yeah,
seen
what is
football.
that?
It's Terrell Owens, right? Yeah, the football player. He did like a reality show in Los Angeles, moving to LA, like living out of Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
And that was the song they used. It was California Bound. I never saw the clip from it, but we started getting, because the cool thing with it going to a show like that, because I guess we have for the last year or so been kind of associated with more of like a woman's, like, we're a little bit softer. We put on a harder show, but the way the music's recorded is it's a little light. And then when it's associated to someone like that, then all of a sudden you get a whole different audience of guys. You get these like tough guys that come out to the shows, and it just kind of bridges a gap. It's cool because we're getting to meet so many different audiences now because of, you know, still coming down to this TV medium.
It's the same thing with this, the swimmer.
Yeah, with Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
They used Show Me What I'm Looking For from Michael Phelps for the Olympics last year. Like one of his, like when he listens to music to get warmed up, or, you know, that's what it does to get in his headset. And to be us being the, I mean, look at the picture of health that we are, and then being associated to Michael Phelps. But now, I guess after the last year, it kind of makes sense.
Well, he does other stuff too to get in the right
I guess so.
headspace.
You gotta get your headspace clear, right?
Show me what.